So I'm on Comcast gigabit now, so it's only like 45 megabit. Oh, and whatever I'm saying to you is going over this, but nobody's on. Can you see me? I started a new one. It should say Garage Day 1C. I don't know. I mean, yes, of course. That would give me 12. Oh, cool. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me. Hello. This is Miss Kentucky, the most awesome car on the face of my garage. Now I'm like, yeah, I was messing with the buffering to see if that would help. That's normal latency. If I do ultra low latency, I don't think it's going to work. Anyways, that's streaming on YouTube, I guess. Does it say what resolution you're at? Does it have the normal gear on the bottom right? Huh. Does it have a better option? Oh. It's a pretty cool setup I got going so far. So my plan is one camera over where you can see, and then I'm going to plop another one on a tripod next to like my tire and take the wheel off and do the brakes tomorrow night. And I don't know, I got all these weird little projects to do, so just going to do that. Oh, I forgot about that. I should totally do it in the middle of the day and be like, okay, come watch my class on how to change your brakes. Because kids obviously want to do that. Yeah, that'd be pretty entertaining. It'd be better if you could talk back. Oh, well. I don't know. You know, last week I was thinking I should go knock out the standard precautions class and the Red Cross like CPR class, and I think there's like 3 or 4 certifications you have to get to babysit now. And yeah, because we were talking about what are the like poor people going to do when you close schools, because they're going to have to like, you know, stay home this week because they can't find anybody to take care of their kids. So they're taking vacation or missing work or whatever. And then in another week, the governor's going to be like, okay, nobody can leave their house for like 2 or 3 weeks. So now, you know, they're going to be out 4 weeks of work. And then once that gets done, they're going to be like, oh, crap, I just got sick. So now I'm out for another 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. Like, how many people are going to go bankrupt that way? Yeah, that's the hard thing. How do you keep a kid interested for an hour? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's my next project. I found there's a bunch of different companies that do license-free music for streaming. So I got to figure out how I'm going to tie that in. But I got the subwoofer and the speakers in here, so yeah, I'll just crank it up and see how bad the sound is. Yep. Anyways, I should probably get off the horn if I'm going to be repeating everything I'm saying to you. Or, I don't know. What if I say some secret code word or something? Or my API key? Yep. I got to figure out how to delete the old ones. Yeah, give me a call sometime. I keep slacking on... every like Friday at about 1 o'clock, I'm like, you know, I should call the guys and see if they want to go to lunch. Oh. it's 1 o'clock. But yeah, one of these days, get down there. Cool. I'll talk to you later, man. Bye. Okay, so now it's time to do things because I'm done with the phone. This video will most likely be deleted because not everybody is interested in me talking on the phone. Let's check the temperature. Maybe turn the heat on. Oh. I said turn the heat on. I think I tripped a circuit breaker. Computer on. No, no. Maybe it just thinks it's warm enough. I don't know. I have no idea. It's time to get a different heater. Okay, so you would think that having a big giant heater in a big giant garage, it would be fine. But no, they put like 2 circuits for all the walls in this garage. I know I have another heater. Someday I'm going to run a gas line when my new company is actually in a place that I feel like paying myself more money. For now, I've been heating the garage with a computer with a whole bunch of GPUs in it. I used to crunch for Ether, and so I was doing a pretty decent job of making more money from Ether than I was spending on the power to generate it. And so instead of running the space heater that I have turned on right now, I'm sitting there generating cryptocurrency. And the trick was you got to sell it all the time. I don't like doing that. It's kind of a hassle. You got to pay taxes on it. It's not worth it. So I ended up doing SETI at home. So all this winter, I've been doing SETI at home over on the cryptocurrency rig, searching for aliens and then prime numbers. So I've discovered, I don't know, a bunch of prime numbers. Because why not? That's cool. Who has prime numbers named after them? I do. It's 60 degrees. I'm cold. I don't know why. So now there's all these fun projects we have to do. The first thing, we're just waiting for people to hop on this little live stream. First thing is sweeping. So, okay, the hashtag on this is doing my something. Doing my part CO. Governor Jared Polis had a press conference this afternoon, which I was not there for because the whole coronavirus thing. The funny thing is, I was supposed to be at a meeting with Jared Polis on, I don't know the date. There was this net zero meeting going on up in Loveland, and it would have been really nice because my wife and I are probably, the only business owners in the state of Colorado and possibly the United States that is in a net zero building and actually gives a crap about being in a net zero building. So we do all this detailed work. We have a lot of IoT hardware. We track all the power use at the plug level. So the rest of the building, they're checking at the panel and monitoring the plug load of each business. And so the developer / property manager is the utility, not Excel as most people would have out here. So they give us a certain amount of power that we're allowed to use. And then if you go over, you have to write a check to Al Gore and go plant some trees and, I don't know, chant something. So far, we have been under our plug load for the whole time we've been open. So a year and a half or something. something like that. So we have this cool little smart salon that's like tracking all the data. There's all kinds of stuff that's automated. You can do fun things like talk to Alexa, nothing, and you can tell her to turn somebody's hairdryer off while they're working, which is sort of cool, except you don't want your clients figuring out they can do that and then just mess with people. So we don't really use that as much as we thought we would. Lighting automation, it's okay. Like, it's cool to be able to turn the power on in the morning, power off at night. We get rid of all the vampire power use. That's actually written into our lease, that we have to have automated processes to decrease the vampire load of the building. So anyways, we're supposed to be going to this meeting with, the governor was the keynote speaker, and we have all this experience being in a building that was designed to do what his goal for 2040 is. And it would be great to be able to talk to him and say, hey, like, here's the reality of the situation. Like, yeah, that's great that all the people here have all these pie in the sky ideas, but when, the rubber hits the road, here are the problems that happen. And I've got a whole year and a half of them. I've got 2.5 years when it comes to arguing with architects and engineers that didn't really seem that invested in the project. That day turned out to be sort of a coronavirus nightmare. We're dealing with a couple issues with my job, trying to figure out what's going on in the nursing home industry. And then with the hair salon, we're trying to figure out what do we do, since we're in Boulder, Colorado, full of all these international travelers coming back from other countries. We got people coming back from Italy, we got people coming back from China, we got Southeast Asia, a couple other places in Europe. We got people coming back from all over the place. And so we're having to make those risk decisions based on incomplete data because we don't have testing. And it's been incredibly frustrating knowing, as probably everybody else on the internet knows, not having testing to figure out who's actually sick and then what are the consequences of the people who've been detected that are sick. I have all these nurses that I work with. They have contacts everywhere. We're hearing all these stories. People know they're sick. They are pretty dang sure that it's coronavirus. They have links to people that have coronavirus, and you can't get a test. I think that's been changing over the last 2 or 3 days, at least here in the United States. There's a bunch of companies that are starting to work on some really cool stuff. Hi, Josie. It doesn't say that there's anybody watching me, so I think I'm actually talking to myself, recording myself. So the testing thing has been really, really frustrating. You can't really predict what's going on. So the girls at the salon, we can't really tell them, here's when we think that the state of Colorado is going to shut down their business. We don't have any idea. So I didn't get to meet Polis at that meeting. And then Polis today was on TV and was like, hey, I was supposed to go talk to that guy. I haven't seen him in a long time. I think Josie might have been with us when we tried to go to his office, but he wasn't actually there. Might have been a different trip. We got sidetracked going to IBS New York, and our flight got canceled. And so I called my brother and was like, dude, can we crash at your house tonight? Yeah. Okay, we're on our way. So then we go get on a plane to DC and went to my brother's house, and then rode the train the rest of the way to New York City. And I think we almost got stuck or something. That's a crazy story. Is anybody actually on the little live stream thing? Because it's easier to talk if there's not, but it's probably more fun if there are. I don't know what's going on. Okay, project number 1, sweeping, because I don't want to get salt all over all my junk. So you might notice there's this black thing. I don't think you can see it because the lights are off. I got these big rubber floor mats to get all the snow and the salt melting off the cars in the garage. They've been great. It's a little It depends what you consider expensive. 150, 200 bucks, I don't know. Totally worth it. There's like huge crystals of salt all over this thing. And so I either sweep it up or I drag it outside and spray it off. Well, it's been kind of cold and I've been kind of lazy and it's dangerous outside. There's like flus and bacteria and stuff. But yeah, I got to clean it, get some lights turned on. We got to sweep. And then after we sweep, we got to build some lights. More lights on. There we go. Is the light better? That might be a little too bright. That one's pretty good. What about that one? That one? Whoa, that one's actually pretty good. Can't tell on that one. Okay. We get a light. Nope, we sweep. Sweep spin, sweep spin, sweep spin. I'm really good at sweeping. And the reason I'm good at sweeping is because we have a hair salon. Which means there's always hair. Always. And you don't want people having hair all over their shoes and stuff, so if you're a good place, you gotta clean and clean and clean some more. We were up there today cleaning. Okay, so that's some of the black stuff. And we gotta get the rest. Oh, there's some salt. Yeah. I'm not really feeling the sweeping thing. You know what's awesome is getting on YouTube and watching somebody sweep their garage. Who didn't think they were going to do that today? Someday, 20 years from now, somebody's going to be like, I'm going to find the dumbest video on YouTube and I'm going to watch the whole thing. They're going to be watching me sweeping and rambling. Back to the Jared Polis point. So he's saying, do this little hashtag. If you're doing something fun, share it with the rest of the people in Colorado. If you're doing something nice for somebody, record it and share it on social media and hashtag that and try and motivate other people to be good people. Like, we're in a pretty tough time right now. Things are going to be shut down. People are going to be losing their jobs. You can do nice little things to help people out. I think we're almost good enough to get started. So you have to have multiple brooms because different bristles and stuff. I'm gonna get another camera, but that's one of our projects. So first we're doing lights. This is totally ridiculous, and I love it. A while ago, I bought a ring light. I like ring lights. Ring lights like me. So this is just like a cheap, I don't know what kind, some kind of ring light that it was on like an Amazon, Amazon sale day. Concrete's no fun. That's vodka. Amazon sale day. So most of the time I track things pretty close on Amazon sale day. Usually it turns out stuff's not on sale. So like one year I bought my brother a Yeti Blue microphone. Blue? I don't remember which one it was. Big old microphone. Kind of expensive. I was tracking the prices for 2 months ahead of time. So it was fascinating. Like, I think it was like a week before the Amazon sale day, whatever it's called, their birthday or Black Friday. I don't remember which one it was. Price starts going up, which is kind of weird. So then Prime Day hits, original price back here. We're making a really cool graph. Original price. Price coming up to Prime Day. Prime Day hits. Sale price. Still up here. I'm like, well, that's stupid. So I waited like a week. Price came back down. Bought one, and it was cheaper than Prime Day. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Anyways, this actually was. So I said, what the heck? Let's give it a shot. Ring lights are usually awesome. For photography, it's always been a cool thing to be able to eliminate shadows, and with the advent of LEDs, it's been much cheaper to do ring lights. So I bought one for the garage because the intent was, I'm going to start filming stuff in my garage because that's fun. I made the mistake of taking it to the salon, and of course it turned out to be really awesome at the salon. We have a big backdrop with the rolling sheets of paper that are, I don't know how big they are, 10 feet, 12 feet, pretty wide. So it's kind of cool. You can drop down a big giant black backdrop or a big giant gray backdrop. This turned out to be a really cool tool for the business. So the business bought that one, and I bought myself a new one, which I have not opened. See, it has a UFO ring. This is how it flies. Propulsion on this end. Lift. I always thought unboxing videos were the stupidest things ever, so not doing that. There goes the case. This isn't an unboxing video, it's a let's get some crap built video. And the monitor's in the way, isn't it? Okay, let's move that. Let's move that thing. I just need to be able to see what I'm doing. There's my feet. There's my keyboard. Here's my new keyboard stand. Awesomeness. Okay. So it comes with this nifty little tripod. Not super fancy. That was a really good throw. I've been practicing throwing for like at least 2 years. Wasn't allowed to throw things before that. Might hurt somebody. I don't think this is recyclable, and that's kind of a bummer. See, that's the thing. When you start a salon that's like all zero waste, we're an EPA like certified zero waste facility. We got a PACE certification that says that. I don't think the EPA actually certified us. And I don't know how PACE does that, besides coming and weighing our trash. Yeah, so we produce like 2 pounds of trash a week, which usually is our lovely customers, which may actually be the only people who see this video ever, like to bring us Starbucks cups. Starbucks, just saying. Boulder, Starbucks, really? Can't just be like Whole Foods, Amazon? No. How about like local, there's a nice little local coffee shop block away in the Steel Yards. I know, people like consistency. It's like McDonald's. Everybody loves McDonald's because they get the same thing, the way they want it, everywhere they go in the United States, not the world. If you go to Luxembourg and get McDonald's, it's kind of weird. I'm not going to say it's bad, it's just weird. Like, You have to pay for ketchup pack. I don't even remember if there's ketchup or if it's just mayonnaise. It's weird stuff. The condiments freak you out, and then the names are all different. And then you don't know, like, are you gonna get the same thing? I don't think so. But it is nice if you're like traveling for a really long time and you get a little homesick and you just want some American food that is capable of destroying your heart, you can go get some McDonald's just about anywhere. Or you can get Burger King in Fiji, and they sell the Fiji brand of beer at Burger King, which is pretty sweet to get like a Whopper and a beer at the airport. Somebody's gonna get their eye put out by this. You know, somebody. Not saying it'd be me. Okay, is this gonna be low enough? I think that's too high. So we're shooting for halfway. The problem is it's gonna block. I have a little monitor on top of my camera there so I can see what I'm shooting, because being able to see it there and there, apparently that's not enough. Okay, we got power. We got one of these things. I don't know what that thing is for. Really? Cool, it came with like a flexible head this time. Huh. Don't need it. Might keep this for something else. Yeah. Awesome. On you go. I don't think I tightened that enough. Imagine that. So the other one came with a little thing to hold your cell phone, because this is like the awesomest thing ever for doing selfies. Maybe not the awesomest. There's smaller ones you can attach to your phone that are also adequate. Twist? Yeah, we'll twist it. Okay. Now let's see how bad my camera freaks out when I plug this bad boy in and weave through all this junk. Okay, ready? Whoa. Aren't I supposed to have like a creepy look? Totally. Okay, so now we'll move this and we'll begin some experiments so that everybody knows the wonders of a ring light. Unless, of course, this stand is going to be too much of a pain to deal with. Perfecto. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. So let's say I'm hanging out right here and I really want to have good lighting to highlight my wonderful features, because I have several. I have delightful features such as alignment capabilities. If I needed to, say, align a monitor on top of a camera that faced me with a histogram, because people need histograms. It's a little cool, isn't it? Anybody that doesn't know color stuff, I still don't know what I'm talking about. I was at this class in Nashville a couple days before the tornado, and this lady's all, the primary colors, they're missing magenta. Like, magenta? Dude, I took second grade. Almost took it twice. And I remember there's no magenta on the color wheel. I'm 80% sure there is no magenta on the color wheel. But what I have learned is warm is like yellowish and cool is bluish. Cool, warm, cool, warm. Fewer shadows, more shadows. Now I look like a ghost. Ooh. Okay, so then the fun things, if you decide that you want it to be warm, you get either diffuser or Warmovator. So first we're going to try the Warmovator, because you never know what looks better when you're changing brakes on Miss Kentucky. She's really self-conscious about photos, and especially video, and exposing her innards. So when we take her shoes off, got to make sure the lighting's good, or she might get upset. I would doubt that you can tell while I'm putting this on. Hey, what's this for? Oh, I figured out how you line it up. I'm pretty sure there's instructions, but I don't care. Instructions are for people that just don't want to break stuff and or aren't very creative. I like to be able to imagine how things are supposed to work, and that helps me fix things because I fix things for a living. It's like a little puzzle. It's like a big puzzle. Go. You're gonna go there and you're gonna like it. Okay, so now we're diffused and we're Warmovated. And Warmovated, I believe, is a technical term. Oh, I feel so Warmovated. And we only have a little bit of it in frame. In frame, is that what you call it? I don't even know. Let's just go up a little bit. Just a little ways. Okay. So now let's see what that looks like. That's super cool back there. It's fluorescent. I still have a big giant old fluorescent. That is LED and it is cool. Oh, that's a big giant shop light that is not plugged in. And that is a whole bunch of warm LEDs that are like 4 feet long and pointed at the ceiling. So we got a good mix. At our last place, we were in a little suite. And, well, I should say Andrea and Josie were in a little suite because I wasn't really there unless I was getting my hair cut or annoying them. It had these really, really blue lights. Like, I think they were like 6,000 K, 6,500. I don't remember. I told our architect that that's what was in the suite we were in. She didn't believe me. She's like, there's no such thing. Well, yeah, there are actually. They sell them at Home Depot. Do you have those in California? I don't know. I can go buy one and show it to you. Long story, she didn't believe me about lots of things about LEDs. I wished I could have showed her like pictures of the ones that were in my house. Yeah. LEDs. When you get people that aren't really interested in the tech, it's really hard to explain to them, especially if they're like, you know, type A personalities that don't like working together with other people to find really cool stuff. I like finding cool stuff and talking to people about cool tech and nerd herding like a lot. So I don't know, that didn't work out so well. Okay, there are 2 concurrent viewers. Is there really somebody there? Hello, world. That's what you're supposed to say every time you write a program, the first time you're doing a language. There's all kinds of warnings. Yeah, whatever. Warnings are fine. Okay, more things. New this time, what is that? Camera 360, iOS. Okay. And there's an Android shutter button. So I would assume, wasn't there another box? Nope, just this. There's a little clippy thing. And there's a little like SLR hot shoe mount to tripod mount adapter. So the theory is which I'll probably steal the hot flash to tripod adapter to do weird things like mount a GoPro off the side of my big camera, because why not? Oh, I could mount a cell phone off the side of it. That would be really cool. I don't know why there's a little remote. Maybe it's Bluetooth or something. That'll be fun later. So yeah, you can throw this in that little ring right there and mount your phone there. And then what would be actually cool is if, yeah, you had a remote, you could just sit here and like, I'm really good at modeling. Can you tell? If you look at my photo on, I don't know if it's on YouTube. I think it's on like LinkedIn. No, it is on YouTube. That's my profile. Let's try a repeat, but not quite as cool. That was terrible. Especially with the beard. My wife wanted to trim the beard today, and I said no, because if I have to cut my beard off, it's admitting defeat to the WuFlu, and I don't want to defeat. No, wait, I want to defeat the WuFlu. I don't want to have the WuFlu defeat me. So, like, if you have a beard and you try and put a mask on, and you can't get a good seal, you could probably hear that. Wait, we have to test it. Only a tiny bit of leaking, actually. If you put Vaseline all around the seal part, you can do it. It's not, I'm not going underwater with the thing. Usually I use just like little P95s or N95s for P and P95s. Oh, that's right. I have all P95s. P in Filterland is for petroleum. So brake cleaner, brake dust, all that kind of junk. I don't like breathing it in. So I have a lot of these things. So like P100, that's supposed to get 100%. No, 99.7% of stuff down to like 5 micron, I think. I can't remember, and I don't know if it says. Not super important to me. Anyways, I will wear one of those when I'm working on the brakes probably, but I'm not going to wear it to Walmart. I'm not going to go to Walmart. Whole Foods. Or I might go to Target. I don't really know. Oh no, did my stream end? Oh, the humanity. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so we got our little mounty thing. Oh, we need music next. I found this really great service. If you were here a while ago and listening in to me talking to my buddy Ian, you would know that I found some streaming services. They are licensed so that I can stream music. It's music I've never heard in my life. Some of it's okay, I guess. I'm hoping it'll be like a Pandora thing where you can train it up and the music gets better over time, because I ain't been super impressed so far. Is this in focus? It's in focus on my capture card software. It is not super duper in focus on the Google, whatchamacallit, the Google YouTube. It says there was a person here. Oh, no, it doesn't. I don't really know. I think I'm talking to myself, but I'm just practicing, because someday I'm going to find a person who's just as weird as me, or weirder, that wants to watch me do things like work on my car. And like the Governator said, I'm supposed to do things to help out some folks. So there's got to be somebody in Colorado. If you know somebody really weird that likes things like computer things and capture cards and flashlights that go like this, and cameras and changing their own brakes and investing and building businesses and other things that are really fun, tell them that I am going to be on YouTube more while we do this coronavirus thing. Because then maybe there will be some other person out there that actually wants to watch something and like can't do something right now. I don't know. Maybe they're stuck in bed because they broke their leg, or maybe they're stuck in bed because they're terrified of the WuFlu, or maybe they have a case of the Wuffles. I don't know. Yeah, I'm calling it the Wuffles, because I don't want it to sound as scary. So if you get sick, it's the Wuffles. If you're referring to the name of the sickness, it's the WuFlu. And then if you are referring to the actual virus, you might have to go kind of science-y on that one and say like COVID-19 or something. I haven't really decided on that. But there are all kinds of really cool names that people have come up with for all the babies that are going to be born while we're all stuck in our houses and have nothing to do. Google it. I'm trying to keep this somewhat friendly for other ages for a while, till I start cussing up a storm. Okay, music. That's what was next on the list. I tried to have the Amazon do the music for me, but it wasn't doing a real good job of doing the thing where you talk to it and it brings in a service API. Is that whatever? I'm just a computer guy. What do I know? Activate. I had to hit the ON/OFF switch. Activate. Much better. Nobody can hear me typing, because I know somebody out there is going to break it, crack it, listen to my typing. Oh, Dow went down to 20,000. But that's okay, because I bought Procter & Gamble on Friday. Not a lot. And everything else I bought went down. I think that was the only one. I had a bunch of money to move, so Friday was my day that I felt like moving it. Market's probably going to go drop more. I'm not going to try and time it. That's not my thing. I'm not a market timer these days. That's a younger person's thing. Okay, so now the weird thing is, how are we going to control the music if I go plug this into the stereo? Remote desktop, maybe? Remote enable. Remote desktop settings. On. How am I supposed to remember that name? Google, come here. Come here, Google. This is, what are we going to call this laptop? Blinkavator? I am the Blinkavator. I am the Blinkavator 2000 from the future. Send. Okay, so we got our streaming music. And now, oh wait, we need lights. How do you turn the lights on this thing? Híjole. No power. How do I have no power? Oh, you have to, you're supposed to plug it in. That's what they said. But I'm going to move it in a second, so that doesn't matter. Somebody badonkled. I am the Blinkavator. Okay. For anybody just joining us, oh, there isn't anybody just joining us. That's Miss Kentucky. I'm me. And we're playing with YouTube. Whatever this is called. I don't know. Whatever. Let's change the title and see if... Let's change it to Garage Day 1C Coronavirus UberParty hashtag doing my part CO. That's going to do a lot better, right? Because now it's an Uber. Awesome. Okay, so next we're remote controlling our stereo. And the name was... ¿Dónde está mi teléfono? There it is. Don't worry, I'll change it after this, so nobody can read my keyboard. Am I worried about that? Yes. I do this IT stuff. Save. No, I don't need to save it. Never mind. Never mind. Let's only display a little teeny. Little teeny. 1280 by 720. That's probably good. Remote audio is not needed. So now the fun thing, we're going to change the default port. We're going to enable IPsec. We're going to do all kinds of fun things. Oh, it might be on different networks. Yep. If you were a crazy guest network name, what would your network name be? I would tell you that somebody will drive by my house and like break into it. That's a really good password. Yes, please. It says there's 2 playbacks. Okay, now we're on again. We're going to try and connect here and here. That song's fine, I guess, for working on stuff. It's a good working on stuff song. That's not the right name. Isn't there like a browse or something? It's not case sensitive, is it? I haven't done this in a long time. Hey, when you hold down shift, it's wrong keyboard. No dice. Who named this thing? Thanks. Asus. Asus. I don't know, lowercase. Yes. Okay. I don't really feel like troubleshooting right now. Let's check who I am. Okay, we're gonna skip the fanciness for now because there's more fun things to do. Nobody wants to see me anyway, so I'm gonna walk over and plug this in, and then we're gonna have some cool tunes. Sorry, little Amazon. Isn't it supposed to go like over to your headphone jack when you want it to? Headphone, please. There we go. Is that going to be too loud? Can we tell if it's too loud? We're watching the little VU meter thing go like this. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Is anybody there that can tell me? Is the sound total crap now? Yeah, probably not. Okay, so we're gonna turn it down just a tiny bit and gotta plug in the laptop. Plug it in. Is that a subwoofer, you say? Why, yes, it is. Don't you have a subwoofer in your garage? I think it's like a 12, 15 inch, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Does the job. What job? Making the thumps. You can't have a garage without a stereo, and you might as well not even try if you're not gonna do it right. Okay, now we got power. We're gonna turn it down to 43. $38. 38's a good number. It's got a 3 in it. It's almost 4 times 10, but not quite, so it doesn't have like a superiority complex kind of thing. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're not quite hitting the yellow with the bass. And my voice is still cranking like way the heck up into the red. I don't have any idea if this sounds okay, so I'm gonna be evil and I'm gonna go onto YouTube on my phone. And then I'm gonna hold it up to my cheek like an idiot, and I'm gonna see if I can tell what the heck is going on. Imagine that, if you start typing my name that I made up to be like a drug name, like, you know, Levitra, and I can't think of any other name. So Levitra Marketing guys, good job, because I know your name and I know it's a made up word, and I was like, hey, if I can't think of anything with the hair word in it and be able to buy a domain name, I'm gonna have to make something up. So I did. And that's the story of getting my name. One person is watching, which I believe is right there. Pretty awesome, huh? Think of anything with the hair word in it and be able to buy a domain name, I'm gonna have to make something up. Okay. So I can barely hear the background music. I can hear the background music great in here. One person is watching, which I believe is right there. Pretty awesome, huh? Yeah, we're gonna have to crank up the music just a little bit. Off we go. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to crank up the music just a little bit. Volume has been increasivated. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to crank up the music just a little bit. Volume has been, and I think I still am satisfactorily louder. Should I leave that going? I think I should. It's not gonna screw it up any more than it already is. Okay, so we made it to 11 o'clock p.m. my time, which means, what does it mean? It doesn't really mean anything. It means I could go get a snack. It means we can think about plans. Okay, so here's another project that I'm thinking about. So we got 100 feet of fiber optic cable. We got, there's some metal. A dual, they used to be called GBICs. I don't remember what they're called anymore. SFP modules, SFP plus, something like that. So you got the little holes there. You throw this in the compooper over here. And then you got these little SFP modules. So you shove this in the hole in this that's going in the hole over here. And then you shove this in the hole here. And then you run this, I don't know, through the ceiling or something, across on a wire, over into the house, probably into the attic, over to, I have a whole bunch of conduit run in the wall. And so we drop it through the conduit. Conduit takes it down in the network closet, and then we got 10 gigabit fiber running into the network closet from the streaming machine, which is a piece of crap that I found. I needed a machine to do some streaming, so yeah, threw that together. Dual Xeon, 100 something gigs RAM, GeForce 1070 Ti. That says El Gato 4K 60 Pro card. I don't know, good enough, right? It seems like it's working. Video card is sitting at 40% on video encode. So if I get really bored, maybe I'll drop another 1070 in there because it ain't doing anything. It looks like I got space for two more of them. It seems like that's really loud. I can't tell. But whoa, where'd you go? Okay. Anyways, that's one of my projects to make sure that if the wireless is sucking or I want to move this machine, I need to get it somewhere else. I want to take that VGA out. I have a really old projector that I want to be able to put the chat up on because someday somebody's going to want to talk to me and I'm going to be doing something like the breaks and need to be able to just like look over and see, what did you say? You think that I'm really fat and that I'm really dumb and I need to shut up and get off the internet? Okay. I won't, but I'm starting to think that's kind of annoyingly loud, but my VU meter still says it's fine. So we're gonna open an orange soda. That's for a good job. No, we are gonna turn that down a little bit. It's annoying. I'm not sure I really like that song. We're gonna give it a thumbs down. And we're gonna go to 48. Okay, just turn the heater on. It's been warming up. Now it's cranking. So now our next task is to delete Garage Day alpha beta versions on YouTube. So if anybody was there, they could help me out by, going and checking to see, are they there? How do I get rid of them? All that stuff. It says there's a live stream upcoming and there's not. Upcoming, gone. Garage Day setup. Delete. Delete forever, please. It's got 3 views. Why would it have 3 views? I don't know. Yay! Now we're down to just the one that we're on. It's 11:15. I'm not really sure. Okay, so projects we got coming up, which if somebody decides to hop on here and look at stuff tomorrow, here's our stuff we got. We got a dash cam. It is a 4K dash cam on the front, and I don't know, I think it's like 1920 or something on the back. I don't remember. Has a cute little screen on it. We put one of those on, oh no, I forgot the Subaru's name again. Darla. Sorry, Darla. Oh, poor Darla. I feel like she should have two names. Like, Darla's not quite enough, so it should be like Darla May or something. Not really sure. It took a long time to figure out the name. We were on a trip to Loveland. No, we weren't going to Loveland Pass, but we all stopped at Loveland Pass. There's probably a bunch of really cool photos on like Josie and Sarah's Instagram at the top of Loveland Pass on our way to Vail, where we went to Vail and went shopping. Anyways, Miss Kentucky, she needs a dash cam because Darla's got one and it's awesome. Like, we've already found some really angry guy and you can see him like flying up behind Andrea and then gets behind, like comes in sideways over a white line, tries to get in behind Andrea and stops because she's at a red light, can't really go anywhere in a turn lane to the left. So he's sitting there like honking at her, like waving, flipping her off, like move, and she can't really do anything. So, and it's cool because you can see the front camera and you can see the back camera. There's nowhere to go, and Jackass is back there freaking out. So she finally turns and gets around onto the next street. He goes flying over to the side, zooms in front of people, no blinkers of course, and like goes 3 lanes of traffic over to the left, cuts a bunch of people off. Nobody died, so that was good. But that guy is probably more dangerous than the WuFlu. Just saying. Your chances aren't real good around that guy. Why does it keep flipping between like, I don't know. Number of people is confusing. Okay, so dash cam project. We got run a fiber optic line from the garage back to the house into the network closet. That's really boring because I got to configure a switch on the other end and I don't really feel like doing it. I mean, it's cool having 10 gig fiber, but so far it says my stream is like 9 megabit. I don't think I need 10,000 megabit to do that, although latency is really, really low on fiber. So the time it takes for the signal to go from here to the bat cave, it would be really, really fast, and fiber's, it's cool for that. And it's cheap these days. This is like, I don't know, it's cheap. So that's another cool project. We got brakes. We got to get the brakes done because Andrea was driving this because Darla was having trouble and Miss Kentucky started making scratchy noises. Like, you know, she was sick. And so we figured out that she just needed some new shoes. So I bought some new shoes and it was really fun. Where are they? I asked for the cheapest shoes available, which should have been $18. They searched and searched. They got 3 people and they couldn't find them. And so the manager came over and said, well, here you go. It's like, dude, I don't want to pay for ceramic crazy brakes. It's a 2002 Chevy Cavalier, like base model. Like, I don't want the brake pads to cost more than my vehicle is worth. He's like, no. We're just going to give these to you for whatever the price of the ones you wanted are. Like, but they're like $18. He's like, okay. It's like, oh, cool. So I like those guys. And so if you live in my neighborhood, those will be the people that I'm, you know, taking you down to buy parts from. Kind of cool. Anyways, these are some fancy schmancy ceramic brake pads. Whatever. That was a fun trip. So far, I put the front right on. I take a lot more time than your brake shop does, so it's probably going to be a really long video just for something that, I mean, if you wanted to slap these things in with the air tools and not doing a super good job, not adding in any of the ceramic, what do you call it? You know, the lube stuff that you put on the back of the pads. I always scrape it down and all that junk. So it takes a little while, but if you take it to like a brake shop, I'm not gonna say all brake shops are all mechanics, but a lot of times you can end up getting pretty screwed over because they're just gonna like slap stuff in as fast as they can, and you can tell when you start taking these things apart because you're gonna find like bolts that are around it and you're going to find, damage that's been done because things haven't been done for so long that somebody has to use a lot of excessive force to handle the problem. I really don't like that. Like on this particular car, I went to go change the oil for the first time in, I don't know, 8 years or something. We had been paying somebody to do it forever. And I decided I was going to do it myself one day. One of my buddies lent me his quick jacks. So they're like these big, I don't know how to explain it. It's like two big long steel things, right? So you take the two big long steel things and it's really heavy. So you have to like wheel it with one side and lay it down next to your car. And then you like walk it under your car. And then you put two rubber blocks under the jack points. And you do it on the other side. Then you run hoses out that are hydraulic hoses. And you run it to the master hydraulic cylinder thing. And then there's a really exciting button, the up button. And so you press the button and your car, the whole car goes like that. It's pretty sweet. And then when you're done, hit the other button, drops down. Awesome tool. I've thought about getting the same thing. I kind of want to get either the one that goes just a little, oh, that's a flashlight, a little bit higher, or further back in the garage. I want to get a lift, but I got to pour new concrete if I do that. I don't know what the PSI of this stuff is. It doesn't seem like they mixed it super great. So I'm probably going to jackhammer out a couple spots for the posts and do just some really solid bomb-proof concrete. Then there's a couple lifts out there that'll fit in a 10-foot ceiling, and I'll do it that way instead. So Miss Kentucky, I mean, I'll be able to get her up pretty dang high. Won't be able to do like a pickup, but even on like a quick jack, I can't do a pickup in here too high anyway. And I don't own a pickup, so it doesn't matter. If I buy a Tesla, well, I gotta have money to buy a Tesla pickup in the first place, but it sounds like you can't really buy parts for them and you have to take them back to the dealer to get them fixed. I don't like that, and that would make me angry. I like the whole business model. I like getting the dealer out of the picture because they're evil and they've been manipulating things for so long. I do own a share of Tesla stock. Nothing to get excited about, like I'm promoting them for nothing. It's just fun to say you own a share of Tesla stock. Whatever. It's not worth very much. It dropped a whole bunch yesterday, or today. I don't remember when. Today's Monday. Another GBIC, I almost lost it. Okay, other projects. I have a fan in the attic, which stopped working. I don't know if it's the solar panel that feeds the fan, or if it's the fan, or if it's the motor on the fan. So for Christmas, I got a DC power supply that's like a variable power supply. So I can sit there and crank on my little knobs and generate whatever this fan wants, which I think is actually like 22 volts or something really weird like that. So that'll be fun. Get to finally figure out if it's the motor on this fan that's busted, and then maybe try and fix the motor. We have, on the salon front, we have an IVAC that the girls said smelled like it was burning. So we brought it home and we bought a new one for the salon because we don't want anything lighting on fire and burning at the salon. So I'm gonna take that thing apart, figure out what's wrong with it, and see if we can fix it. Because who doesn't like pulling apart electronics and fixing it and then handing it to somebody? I fixed this. Try it. No, really, I fixed it. Try it at your house. Yeah. Usually I'm pretty good at fixing stuff. I might know a thing or two about it. There's a bunch of other cool things. So later on, when the car is fixed, so after brakes, we have to do the drum brakes on the back. It's one of Miss Kentucky's worst features, drum brakes on the back. After that, we got to finish my shelving over there. I'm making it out of strut, which, yeah, strut's expensive, but it's like an erector set for big kids, and I love it. Where is some strut? I'm going to talk about strut. I got some strut. strut, right? That's strut. If you ever get really curious, which nobody will, there's this Disney movie from like the 50s or something on YouTube about strut. So you can see it's just this like open-ended square tube, right? And they bend the edges down. So you can fit little, I don't know. We'll have to do an actual strut thing. There's these little wing nut things that get stuck up in there and they have little grooves on them so they get stuck on the rims there. It's really strong stuff. It depends how long before it deflects and all that kind of junk, but I love strut. So that's what I'm building my shelves out of. So this does the frame of my shelves, and then I'm doing 3/4 inch plywood because that's what I had. The first shelves got built out of the stuff that you use for the underlayment for floors because we had it left over from the kitchen. I got another sheet sitting over there, so that's going to be some more shelves. Then I did some C-channel, just aluminum C-channel to help with the deflection on, some of those are 4 feet. And I got no deflection, which if you're a salon owner, you should know. When you look at a shelf and it goes like this and it sags, that's called deflection. Hopefully it doesn't go like that or that, because that's real bad and it's about to break. But you know what I mean. When it starts going like this, I think it's something crazy like an 1/8 or a 1/16 of an inch is enough for the human eye to pick it up and notice it's a really big problem. And so when you have customers coming in and they're looking at your shelf and you have $2,000 worth of hair color sitting up there, it looks super ghetto. So fix it, right? So you can get aluminum C-channel that's the size of your shelf. You just have to measure your shelf and then go to the hardware store and look for C-channel that's exactly the same size on the inside as that shelf is on the outside. So you go buy the C-channel, you chop it off to the right length, and you slap it on. So like, where's a shelf? This is a shelf. So if this is the front of your shelf, the cool thing, and it's bending, right? Say it's got the sag right here. Take your C-channel and you slap it on the back of your shelf, and all of a sudden you're adding this stiffness, and you're gonna be able to tell that the front isn't as bad. And if that's not enough, you can do it on the front side. And if that's still not enough, then you're getting into some weird territory. If you look at other shelves that you have maybe on a bookshelf or something at your house, what you'll notice if you look at the side is it's going to have a flat surface that comes down this way on the front. So that front is going to be, bigger than just the thickness of the shelf. And that extra thickness is giving you strength to keep it from flexing, bowing, deflection, whatever you want to call it. That's your lesson on shelving and strut. Way too long. I really like strut for building stuff because you can bolt it all together, and then if you don't like it, you just unbolt it, throw the stuff in a pile, decide what you're going to build next, find pieces that fit, cut it up a little bit more, and build your new thing. And you got this really strong material for building stuff. Yeah, it's like Legos or erector set stuff, but it's for big kids. Like, you can build really cool stuff. You can mount it to ceilings and like get little crane hoist things that zip along, and I don't know. You can be about as creative as you want with it. Pretty fun stuff. So strut, yeah. Shelves go over there. We also have some fun other projects that go along with the shelves. I'm not gonna say too much now because who knows, I might give up on YouTube in another 3 days. But the Governator told me I got to share, and sharing is caring, and everybody's got the WuFlu. So yeah, it's 11:30. It took me a long time to get my camera set up going. Tomorrow we're going to work on getting the Nikon hooked up so we can get a little closer in. I got another capture card for that one, and we got to figure out what does that look like. So like, is it going to be this side of the screen? Not this. This side of the screen is the doing part from a long distance, and then that side of the screen is like a window down here that has the close-up, you know, like looking up my nose or something, or looking at the brakes that I'm pulling off. That could be kind of cool. Yeah. We're gonna get out some air tools, and that's fun because they make cool noises. We're gonna get out some PPE, which everybody should know these days from either the WuFlu or working at a hair salon. Your protective something equipment, PPE, pretty protective equipment, I think is what it stands for. I have pretty protective equipment. See, this is, well, it's gray. Oh, I do have pretty protective equipment. Where is it? I got me a badass helmet. It's been dipped. It's got skulls. You can tell that this is an awesome helmet and that I really need it because there's no damage to it. So it obviously got its use. No, but when you're building something, so like you're building a salon, you need to be there every day or every other day to inspect construction. That's one of the things I got some of this video stuff for a while back. We learned a lot of stuff when we were building the salon, and I want to be able to put this somewhere so somebody that's building a new salon somewhere in the world knows these are the things that you need to know. Like, you have to have a hard hat to go on the construction site, and you don't want to have any excuses like, oh, we ran out of hard hats, and you don't get to go on site to figure out what they screwed up today, because everything gets screwed up. It's your job to know everything on the prints and go and inspect it yourself, because the only person who's going to fix it is you, and you're going to have to argue with people, and it's probably not going to be very fun. You're going to have to go measure the distance between studs and know what you're talking about. You're going to need to know the difference between the voltages going on in your salon. I don't know what it is in other countries, but here it's kind of a pain. You got to figure out it's 120 volt, 240 volt, 480 volt. Then there's like 277 three-phase, there's 480 three-phase, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. It's really common to have to deal with this stuff. And then you're gonna find old guys that still say things like 110. It hasn't been 110 since anybody on the planet has been alive. Like, Edison had 110. There's no such thing as 110. It's 120. 240, not 220, 240. 208 is three-phase. You got to know this stuff, because when you're looking at your plans, you got to get the right voltage. If you don't have the right voltage on the plans, chances are the conduit is the wrong conduit. And so if the conduit's supposed to be a big giant piece of conduit that's running 480 three-phase, it's got to be pretty big. And when they put it on the plan to be 120 volt single phase, and it's just a little itty bitty pipe, guess what? They got to run a new piece of conduit, and chances are a whole bunch of construction got done by the time you found out. Guess who gets to pay for it? Well, go check your contracts, because you might, and it might be many, many, many thousands of dollars. I might not have any experience with that at all. Cool hat, highly recommend it. You're gonna go build a salon? Do it in style. Get yourself a really awesome vest. I have a really awesome vest. My wife has an awesome, this kind of hat, you know, the PPE, pretty protection equipment. Maybe I should go get it. No, it's too high up. Someday I will show you her awesome flower hat. Oh man, how many minutes is that? Average watch time, 43 minutes. For 2 concurrent viewers, which I believe are both me. That's pretty sweet. But I gotta practice, right? Can't get it all right the 8th, 9th time. So we tried on, I think Josie was first. It might have been Sarah. We tried a whole bunch of times. That didn't work. We deleted it. Then we tried with another one. It didn't really work. So we deleted it. Then we tried again, and it did sort of work. And I thought it was really fun. There were a couple little problems. It was fine. I don't know. I want to do it at the salon more, but I need to get the system down so that they're more comfortable doing it. Then we got to find clients that really want to share their whole haircut experience. I think it's really fun. You just have to watch that you're not saying anything that doesn't belong on the internet. But nobody really cares, right? Like, everybody's got their little problems. Everybody's got their life. Nobody knows you. I'm never going to be famous on the internet, so I don't really care. And I don't think there would ever be that many people watching our little YouTube thing aside from our own clients. And I think it would be really fun to have all of our clients in just sort of this closer knit community. We already talk back and forth and we get the banner going between chairs and we have a really fun place. I think that we've hired very well. We have a great group there and it's fun to be able to just sit there and have a good time while you're working, So the coronavirus, we're gonna try and make sure we take care of the girls. If we can't work, we're gonna find a way to make their lives work. It's gonna be a real bummer if they decide they want to go somewhere else or something, but I don't know where you would go in the world that's not shut down. I heard China. It's actually a great place to escape to. For reals, I'm not joking. 11:39. I can't find where it says how long I've been on, and I think that's really weird. Do you think it's weird? I think it's weird. How's having music now? Is it good? Is it bad? Oh, we were gonna check it out with no lights. Okay, almost there. What about now? Is that much cooler or what? And what if we turn this up? I need to put a remote on this or do like some X10. X10? I'm not that old. Wait, I am. I am that old. I think it's funny when people fight over who's the first smart salon. I know that I am not the first smart salon. I am absolutely not the first smart salon. I talked to 2 couples in, I want to say it was Florida. I can't remember, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe longer. Trade show out in Florida. We met some people that were doing some really cool stuff with IoT, Internet of Things, for those of you who are not nerds. And that was kind of motivating for us to hear about. One of them was using, I think, Control 4. Can't remember what the other guy was using, but it was pretty high-end stuff. And so then, excuse me, we come along and we built the suite. And the suite had a problem, that we had those lights that were like the 6,000K blue lights. And so when you have that blue light on somebody's hair that you just colored, it's really hard to tell like what just happened, what color is that person's hair. And so we ended up with a couple different solutions. We could use a remote control. We could talk to the Amazon. I don't say her name, notice, because I don't want her going off and talking to me in here, because who doesn't have that in their garage? Yeah, so one of the cool solutions was to buy a mix of warm and cool lights. And so when you're doing the IoT stuff and you do dimmable LEDs, you can sit there and create all these different combinations of color and color temperature. And so it took a long time to sort of tweak, and it turned out the easiest thing in the world for the girls to do is, for the most part, they would just use the remote. And if they wanted to change it, they could tap a couple extra lights. We pretty much figured out the combination they liked, and that was good enough. I've seen people doing other stuff with light color. I don't know, maybe I'm a little snobby about light color. I don't see a use for a lot of things like blue and purple and like party color stuff that I did in my dorm room with X10 automation equipment, however many years ago it was that I was in college. So yeah, we're definitely not the first smart salon. I know of at least 3 different salons right now that are claiming to be the world's first smart salon. And one of those are they're pals of us, and I'm not gonna complain about it much. They can have their claim to fame if that's what they want. They're not the first. We are not the first, but we were ahead of them. And it all comes down to the weird terminology stuff too. I think I published the term, I don't know, who knows, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I couldn't really tell you. There was smart this and I that, and I really liked the series of I things. It was like everything had a lowercase I in front of it after the iPod, and that was great. Especially when it was like some super cheap thing that came from China. They're like, who had great I stuff? That should be the question. What was your favorite I device? Leave a comment. If anybody ever watches this, that's your homework. What was your favorite I thing? No fair saying iPod or iMac. Something else. What was your favorite I thing? I think that's going to be it. Just remember during this coronavirus thing, it's a real deal. It's a virus. It's going to get into my nursing homes. It's going to hurt people. It's not just the death count. It's the critical case count. That's where we're really going to struggle. We're going to have issues with capacity. You've probably already seen in the news, we're running low on respirators. We're already running low on masks. I just talked to somebody that worked at one of the children's hospitals. Well, they don't use these. They're low on masks, and that's terrifying. Okay, so I've done the FEMA pandemic training. If you go and you check it out, one of the things that you see is the different waves that come along. The second wave is usually deep into the healthcare system, the healthcare workers, and we really need to support them. I don't know how we're going to do that. Somebody knows people at the Aberdeen 3M plant that can go and buy them beer and somehow, maybe not beer, crack and make them work longer, buy more machines, build more masks. They're going to need it. This stuff can be blocked by masks. That's why we use them in the medical field. This P95, I don't think it's quite as good actually as an N95 for this particular thing. But it's all about the logs, right? So I don't remember what grade you learned about exponents and logs and all that junk, but that's how you measure germs. So if you have a droplet this big and it's got 10 to the 8th viruses in it, and that droplet hits this filter, and this filter keeps 10 to the 1st going through and 10 to the 7th staying out, I don't know, something like that. Say it's keeping most of it out. It all comes down to number of logs that have to get into your mouth, somehow getting into your system to actually become infected. The reason people were telling you can't have masks and don't buy them and they're not going to help you is because the healthcare workers needed them, not because you need them. You're not quite as important in the equation, and that sucks to hear, but it's true. Kind of like how in Italy right now, if you got 2 critical cases and you only got 2 beds, and a 3rd case comes along that's critical, you have to make a judgment call. Is it the 2 80-year-olds in your bed that are going to die, or is it going to be the 20-year-old that's not quite as serious but still critical? Somebody has to make that decision. And right now the decision is you take one of those 80-year-olds out and you put the 20-year-old in, just to overgeneralize things. But that's why it's super important to keep people in the healthcare industry protected. You start losing those doctors, you don't have enough people to take care of the critical care patients. Anyhow, hoping the best for all the nursing homes out there. Things might get a little ugly. My company will keep working, trying to help you guys out. And we'll try and keep it real at the salon. We're cleaning really good. We're way past OSHA universal precautions. We're doing stuff that isn't getting done at your doctor's office. The last doctor's office I went to, I looked around and was, why is my hair salon cleaner than this place? Anyways, that's what I got for tonight. It's 11:47 p.m. I don't have to be up till whenever I want, but I'll hop on at some point. Hopefully somebody doesn't watch this. Hopefully this stays out there until I'm like 80 years old and there's some like my brother-in-law's kid's kid is doing a research project about crazy great uncle, and they stumble upon this and they're like, what is that car? It's Miss Kentucky, man. It's pretty cool. It might be 2020 and she might be a 2002, but it's an awesome car. The end. Try that again. The end.